with us. If you were to click on that, it would land at credittrafficsource.com. So it would actually look like a separate entity that is actually selling the traffic on our page, selling the advertising on our page. So you would never actually be able to tell that it was a direct correlation to yourcreditcompany.com. It looks like we've contracted a separate entity to sell our advertising space. And the reason we designed it that way is so it wouldn't just be exclusive to yourcreditcompany.com. We'd be able to sell traffic on a plethora of credit-related websites that we want. So
it's our marketing company, basically, our advertising company.
And that's the whole, that's the core that branches
yes.
into the different.
Right, and people find that, like Austin said earlier, he's been interviewing salespeople to sell that are used to, that have been selling that type of traffic or similar traffic to that, because we're building a sales team. Dr. J is working on all the SEO for the page, so it's found in the search engines. And remember that downloadable program I told you about?
Yeah.
Downloadable software? We're not only using that program on our affiliate banner ad system. We just finished the second downloadable software program to go ahead and submit to 45,000 sites, to go ahead and find our banner ads to sign up with us.
Sure.
We're now working on a downloadable software for this one as well. Credit traffic source, so we can get that out. So we'll have people physically selling space and organically finding that. They could sign up according to the website, put their credit card information on, and get their ad space.
And I think that it's important to mention too that being that this is our next phase of growth, we're really excited about it, and we have talked primarily about the advertising and selling advertising on our site. But along with that, and I know I discussed this briefly with Michael last week, is that one of my primary functions is I don't want to sacrifice the function and the validity of our page. So I am continually maximizing the profitability as well as the functionality of our primary affiliates on our page, because that's really what consumers are coming to our page for. It's for the services that we provide. So we really haven't lost our primary direction in the credit industry, and that is our primary focus as far as the revenue that we will incur. This, as a side note, is enough to keep us extremely, extremely profitable all in itself. So it really positions us well in the industry because we're not contingent upon the success of the credit or finance industry, because we have the advertising to fall back on. But along with that, we're not going to be sacrificing the services that we provide to consumers in doing so. Go right ahead.
I just have a question as far as having those from yourcreditcompany.com, and you're going to just ask it. As a consumer, being able to follow through, is that going to be separate to them, or are they going to be able to use that in conjunction with? Or are they going to even know? If they were to click on that, is there going to be, what is the difference going to be? How are they going to?
If you leave yourcreditcompany.com, in time you're going to have AskScore.com
Absolutely.
on your site.
Or more.
When it's ready to be supported.
Right.
Right.
Your company affiliation for those different entities.
Well, let me explain a little bit more in depth. The primary function of our microsites isn't to be all-inclusive. These are one-page sites that are extremely search engine optimized, and their primary function is to rise in categories that we can't get our primary domain to rise in. So as you saw before, credit experts and credit answers were right on the top, page 1. But what about credit repair? What about credit in general?
So in order breaking those down.
Excuse me?
Breaking that down.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the primary function of those subdomains will be to rise in those subprime categories such as credit repair, auto loans, credit, so on and so forth. And when those rise to page 1 and somebody clicks on those, it will have a brief information in regards to what we provide to the consumer, but it will be directly affiliated with yourcreditcompany.com. And the primary function of those microsites will be to generate traffic for our primary domain.
Okay, so it's really just for that purpose of having other options, not only for the consumer, but getting them to utilize that service
for the other companies that are being represented.
Absolutely, absolutely. But at the same time, being that, for an example, credit repair, a huge industry right now. If we create a microsite, yourcreditrepaircompany.com, that rises to page 1 in Google for credit repair, it's going to generate so much traffic that the advertising dollars we could incur from that page could supersede our primary domain.
Right, right.
So, yeah.
So then
And
you can break it down into the categories.
absolutely, absolutely. But these sites won't be developed to the extent of
Well, you need to know
yourcreditcompany.com.
what the.
And until they come up, they're helping
Right.
raise
Build that.
the search optimization for yourcreditcompany.com under those categories.
So
Absolutely.
that's how you're being able
Instead of credit
Absolutely.
experts and
Right.
credit
And
what
answers,
it is. then.
and
credit
Sure.
repair
Okay.
will bring yourcreditcompany.com, because credit repair is not in that
In the title.
10-word
And
title.
The reason that the microsites are so important for us is the broad scope of services that our site encompasses. It's impossible to rise in every one with our primary domain. So we have to develop those microsites. I'm sorry I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, but what about the level of the affiliation of the companies that are represented?
Directly.
Yeah.
It'll be directly affiliated.
Okay, through each or individually? If they started out, you already have that link through yourcreditcompany.com and it's there because that's who's represented by them. Is it going to then be categorized separately through Just Ask?
It will all be a direct representation of yourcreditcompany.com through the whole scope of microsites. I guess.
Right, I'm just
having
talking
some
about
trouble.
the representation of the companies that you will have links to for the consumer. Right, the advertisers, the affiliates.
Okay, I guess I understand. You will be able to take, if you, let's say you land on our credit repair subdomain, you will be able to take direct action on that page to our primary credit repair affiliate if you don't choose to go any farther or to explore the options of yourcreditcompany.com. So we will still have the direct relationship with our primary affiliate reflected on that page, as well as the scope of
Okay, so
advertising.
it's kind of just narrowing it for the consumer to have a choice just within that specific.
Right. And I guess an easy way to think of this is taking our credit repair page and removing it
Okay.
from yourcreditcompany.com
Sure.
and duplicating it on yourcreditrepaircompany.com. And the only function of that is to
Is
get
it
it to
credit.
rise in a subcategory.
Okay.
Right.
I
Good
like
question, though. Thanks.
I like to add one other thing that's kind of important. On our banner ad, this is something you should know. When I first started the company, Dr. J came aboard and he says, Dave, what's your goal as far as visitors? We know that credit.com gets 500,000 organic visitors a month. And I sat down with Dr. J and he said, why do you want, he goes, what's your goal for monthly unique visitors? And I said, well, I think 500,000 works well for me. And he says, why? And I go, because credit.com has 500,000 and they're the leader in the industry. And he goes, how come you're not thinking about 1 million? I'm not sure. He goes, why aren't you thinking about 2 million or 5 million? He goes, that's obtainable. And I go, well, I guess I thought maybe one of the biggest credit companies on the web that's getting 500,000 is probably doing as much as they can. He goes, no. He goes, the way that you get to the millions, the 5 millions, the 2 millions, the banner ad system that we finally finished, that we are implementing. Let's say we have 100 banners flying out there now every day. Okay, we have 100 banners on all these websites. When one person clicks on one of those banners a day, just one, that's 100 people a day to our website, right? So we have 1,000 banners flying on flying out on the web. Even one person a day clicks on that, that's 1,000 more people to our website. That's the best direct traffic that we could get. It doesn't get any better than that. Then we're hoping in 6 months having 10 to 25,000 banners out there flying on our on websites. People click on that one time a day. That's the traffic that we're selling. That's our direct traffic. It's our ad traffic. I mean, that's by having that banner ad system built internally and sending it out on free download sites and sending it out on bulk emails. That's how you get from 500,000 to 5 million. So I just thought you might find that a little interesting.
And then just real quick brief addition to that, I think it's important to note that when we are in the position to release, whether it's for the over-the-counter bulletin boards or for our IPO down the road, when you have 10,000 banner spots on the web, that's $1 million asset for a web company. 20,000 is $2 million. And being that we've positioned ourselves so competitively in the industry, We're paying in the top 75th percentile as far as what people are offering for pay-per-click, and our real-time tracking metrics is better than anybody else in the market. So there's no reason why we can't develop 10,000 banners, I would say within 90 to 120 days to get 10,000 banners out there.
And by doing that, we have to